Moving on, Tony Khan wants his bag. All right. In a recent interview with Uprocks Sports, Khan expressed his expectations for AEW's media rights moving forward. He says, "I expect big increases in the rights for the AEW programs, and we're on a good pace to make a very lucrative deal for the AEW media rights going forward," Khan said. He also went on to say, "We've done 174 episodes of Dynamite, 80 episodes of AEW Rampage.
Hey.
Our 17th pay-per-view event will be March 5th in Revolution. So we've done hundreds and hundreds of hours of AEW content in our library. I also purchased Ring of Honor last year, which is a great promotion with over 20 years of history, thousands of hours of video in their library. So overall, AEW has access to so many great wrestling events, including some events that are widely considered to be some of the best wrestling events of all time. There's a lot of interest in this library as well as the new weekly content we continue to produce each week. And I do think there's a lot of demand for the library, and it makes a lot of sense for us to try to make that AEW library available to fans all over the world on demand. So now we're talking about media rights of AEW Dynamite and Rampage going forward. We're also talking about their library. And I want to know, number one, two questions. Number one, do you believe that AEW is going to get a very lucrative media rights deal? So, like, essentially, money for television, money for their programming. And do you believe that AEW will have their own streaming service?
Yeah, they need to. I'm surprised it actually hasn't happened sooner because they've been doing very well for themselves.
Hmm.
And they're if they're not mainstream to you now, like I mean, I think that they're fucking mainstream. I mean, they've been getting like nothing but mainstream artists to come in. They've been doing deals with other companies. I feel like it would only benefit for them if they had their own streaming or their own network. They honestly need like something very similar to the WWE network. It would
Mm-hmm.
help them out so much considering that they've been doing like shit on like YouTube and stuff like that before for a while before building up AEW. I could see them having a bunch of other like segments, nice organized ways to have their shows and their pay per views. It's not like Tony Khan doesn't have the money for it. You know,
Right.
you need the right deal. But I think that they could do it, and I think they could really benefit from it. Yeah, I'm totally for it. Why not? What do you think?
I think I'm for it as well. I think that there definitely needs to be an AEW streaming service. Obviously, with all the stuff that they've been doing has been great. And I feel like people would find a lot of value in finding a lot of like the AEW premium live events, AEW pay-per-views, and finding the AEW programming in one centralized place with with a nice good interface, probably some bonus content. So I think that there is definitely a demand for an AEW streaming service. Now, as it pertains to their media rights deal, this is where it gets interesting. There's been so many things that have happened since AEW signed their extension from a couple of years ago. Obviously, Cody left. CM Punk is in
Right.
disarray. We don't know what's happening with
Mm,
him. But we've also, on the flip side, have seen AEW bounce back in probably the best way that it can. Obviously, promoting John
for sure.
Moxley, creating promoting John Moxley, promoting Chris Jericho, building some form of infrastructure where you have Pat Buck and Tony Schiavone and Sanjay Dutt kind of at the helm, helping out Tony Khan and kind of really building out a company instead of just like, all right, well, Tony's in charge and we got the elite to coach and mentor. So they have a company, they have a
Yeah.
structure. In addition to that, we've seen them make very, very drastic changes to their television presentation. I believe they hired the senior television, I think like a senior television person from WWE. Shortly thereafter, AEW unveils this brand new set, beautiful set, that retains a lot of the grit that we love from AEW, but polishing it up enough for it to look presentable, and to lure people from the other side, if you catch my drift. And in addition to that, we've seen multiple guys come back. We've seen Adam Cole come back. We've seen the Elite come back. We've seen all these valuable talents come back to AEW. So I think that when you're looking at the next set of negotiations, I think that we're looking at a deal um that's probably going to rival WWE. If WWE's making 250 million dollars a year, if I'm Tony Khan, I'm going to be asking for about 100 to 150 million dollars a year from TNT. Considering
Oh
that
yeah.
there was a point in time, number one, there was a point in time where SmackDown decided that they wanted to put their beef on the table and try to compete with AEW. And while SmackDown beat them in the ratings, the objective wasn't to beat SmackDown in the ratings. The objective was to show Turner that they can get close with the little money that they had. And because of that, I think Tony has leverage going into negotiations. So I
Oh
do
yeah, of course.
believe, I do believe that they got something. They have something in store. They have something in store, and I think that they're going to have some very, very fruitful negotiations where AEW and Tony Khan is going to be very, very pleased um, about what they get in return. You going to say something or not?
Oh no, I was listening. I was very
Oh,
much in tune.
that's really all that I had to say. But I expect there to be a streaming service. I expect there to be an increase in value in their media rights deals. Um, but we're gonna see going forward. However, we want to know how y'all feel. Do you feel like Impact? I mean, Impact. Ah, do you feel like AEW is
Wrong
going
show, my
to?
brother.
Right, wrong show, wrong topic. Do you feel like AEW is going to get a streaming service, and do you feel like they're going to get an increase in their value in their media rights? Let us know in the comments. But we are moving on. So